When you are on the go, you need your credit union to be right there with you. Hughes Federal Credit Union makes your life easier. For 60 years, Hughes has called Southern Arizona home and has given back to our community. Isn't that who you want as your financial partner?
Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here. With Greg Hansen, GH, the Wildcats travel to Missouri this weekend. They'll take on the Tigers at Mizzou Arena, fill themselves up with some Booch's burgers in scenic downtown Columbia, come home for what will be a busy final 2 weeks of non-conference play. Wildcats face Mizzou, Grand Canyon, New Mexico, and Texas A&M. This is a huge stretch for them.
Think they can go 2-2?
Yeah, because I think Mizzou stinks, for starters.
Do they still have basketball in Mizzou?
I think the NCAA is involved. They have a long, proud history, and I say this as somebody who follows Missouri. They have a long, proud history of running afoul of people at Missouri.
I think the Grand Canyon game might be as tough as any game they have left in the pre-conference, except A&M.
Sure.
But Grand Canyon, as we know, played Louisville tough last week. And even though it's a 9 o'clock game, I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Grand Canyon is a program coached by Dan Marley, the former Phoenix Suns star. Jerry Colangelo is very heavily involved with them. This is a team that's kind of on its way up, and I think it's good for the state, frankly, to have a third team that's actually competitive in some sports. But they're interesting. I mean, it took a little arm twisting for them to get on Arizona's schedule to begin with, and now they look dangerous.
Oh. I would drive to Phoenix. I don't like to drive to Phoenix.
You don't?
I would drive to Phoenix tomorrow to watch Grand Canyon play Arizona State.
Yeah.
Because Grand Canyon would kick their butts.
Yeah. Well, and this is a place that we've seen, they've done a lot of sort of bounce back second chance guys from other schools,
sure.
Guys like Northern Arizona, transfers from other big programs. I think they had a Washington State player last year. They're athletic. They play in a league where athleticism, I think, is at a premium. I think that this is a team that could be a number 14 seed in the NCAA
sure.
tournament once they're eligible to play in it in a couple of years.
They should dominate the WAC. The WAC is really, really crummy.
Right.
But when they start playing officially in the WAC next year, I mean, when they can go to the tournament, they should make a run.
Yeah. Now, what makes them so unique, do you think?
I think because they created a culture on their campus where they sell out 7,000 seats,
right.
Even when they're playing Cal Bakersfield.
Right.
And because they can bring in these second chance guys you're talking about, and because they can stick it to ASU.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the intrigue?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the market inefficiency there. ASU is not as good at basketball as it should be.
Oh, wait, I watched them play Purdue.
Yeah.
I turned it on. It was 62-28.
Yeah. And Purdue's not Duke.
Yeah.
Purdue's just okay.
Yeah.
No, it's a really interesting dynamic up there in Phoenix, and nice to see Arizona and Grand Canyon on each other's schedules again. I think it'd be really cool if Arizona would head up there, play them at their little arena.
Oh.
I mean, it would be one of the toughest tickets in the state to get, I think.
Chances of that happening are
zero.
Arizona did play at NAU about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Sold out the NAU place, and it was a close game for a while.
Yeah.
And I remember Lute saying afterward, never again.
Never again. Exactly. Then you move on to Texas A&M and New Mexico, teams that I think are similar in terms of length, size, both fairly established programs that Arizona should beat, I think, on paper. But it all depends on who's in their starting lineup. How different is this team if they can get Alonzo Trier back?
I think if Trier comes back, Arizona can finish 500 in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
9-9.
Yeah.
If he doesn't come back, maybe not 9-9.
Is it just because of depth, or is it because of what you've seen out of these players?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And the way the depth falls, because there's no other guards available.
Right. And we saw this, I think, on Tuesday night. Dusan Ristic played arguably his greatest game as an Arizona Wildcat. I mean, really muscled up against guys his size, a little bit taller than him, effective on the glass. The fact that that is a rarity for him, I think, shows you how hamstrung they might be in conference play. This is a guy who needs to play like that every night.
It's a guy who needs to play against the Anteaters every week because I don't think that game counts.
We talk about this every week on the show, Greg, and I want to wrap up with this, but I'm amazed by him. Lauri Markkanen, through 10 games, maybe the most singular talent I've ever seen in an Arizona uniform.
Could be. Brian Williams and Chris Mills, when they came in, were like that. But I think he's a peg above. And one thing that I've noticed, no one pronounces his name Markkanen anymore.
That's right.
No national guys, no local guys. Everybody knows his name.
Right. And Sean Miller even alluded to it last night. The main challenge for his teammates the rest of the way is going to be getting him the dang ball.
Oh, let him go one-on-one.
Yeah. He is as unique and as peerless a player, I think, as they've had here in a very long time. 7-footer who can step back and shoot. He'll play in the NBA a very long time, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, GH, realistically, without Alonzo Trier, what happens in the next 4 games?
2-2.
2-2. I'm Ryan Finley. I'll go 3-1. We'll see you next time.